This is Raf Daddy from the Two Bears. You're listening to DJ Reelax on Release.
The number you have reached has been disconnected. The new number is...
The phone booth.
All right, here we go. We're in the phone booth again on a Friday night, and it's for the first time on Release. We actually have to issue a warning for this interview. It's do not feed the bears, be warned, please. But we do say with open arms, welcome to one half of the most refreshing acts of 2011. Well, I think anyway. And we're talking to Raf Rundell, a.k.a. Raf Daddy from the Two Bears.
Evening, how you doing?
Yeah, very good, mate. Good. Thanks for joining us in here.
It's a pleasure.
It's been a fairly recent endeavour, the Two Bears rather, for you. I might be two beers along the way, 2 beers along the way, I'd sure. But,
that's how they say it when we go and DJ in Germany.
No, well, we are talking about the Two Bears, which have been two busy little bees for since March 2010. There's been 4 EPs. A stack of radio for both of you as you're completing your own show, and you're guesting also on the likes of Rob the Bank and Annie Mac. I know for sure. I think I caught a little Christmas number from you guys on Rob the Bank. So, and you've just finished your festival performance.
It was great. Yeah, I mean, we ended up on a bill in the same tent as this guy, Mr. Motivator, who you might not have heard of down there, but he was like, for a long time, he was like on breakfast TV doing aerobics, and he was a sort of TV personality of one kind or another. He was this guy who was always in sort of like tropical print lycra. It's all very like the festival, you know, it's that kind of madcap. So he was there like getting everybody hand in the air, doing, you know, crouches and star jumps and everything in the crowd. It was quite surreal. It was certainly an interesting act to follow. But yeah, we had a great gig anyway.
Yeah, we're talking to Raf Rundell from the Two Bears, who alongside, as you mentioned, Joe Goddard from Hot Chip, make up the Two Bears. There was almost meant to be 3 bears, were there not?
That's right, yeah. Well, the idea was put to us, to Joe and I anyway, by a guy called Stephen who runs the label Moshi Moshi here in London, and yeah, he sort of said, you know, he kind of collared us one night and he said, I've got a fantasy. you should start a band with Joe Mount from Metronomy, Joe Goddard from Hot Chip and me, and call it the Three Bears. And yeah, Joe Mount was obviously down there on the English Riviera getting the inspiration for his new record, and he wasn't around when we got started. And well, you know, we like to pull a gag that he's lost too much weight and he wouldn't fit in the band now. So
you guys are doing quite sensationally well yourselves. Of course, the fun hit at the moment, Bear Hug, I know down here, is getting a greatly received. How are you finding, I guess, it seems to have been pretty much a dream run, so to speak, so far for the Bears?
So far, so good, man. Yeah, I'm thrilled, you know, it's been brilliant. And, you know, you never really think about these things when you're messing about in the studio with your mates, you know. It's like that's the tune that's done the most in terms of, like, radio play and getting us exposed in one way or another. It's been the one that we'd been battling away in the studio for a couple of weeks trying to make serious music, and one afternoon we just decided to have a bit of a laugh.
You do feature on the vocals quite a bit there. Did you ever think that was your thing to start with, or did that come about? How did that one sort of transpire?
Yeah, I never thought for a minute that was going to be on the cards, really, but I was I had a bit of time on my hands, you know. I'd been made redundant in the credit crunch a couple of years ago, and I always worked in music and as a DJ, and I sort of like didn't really know what I was going to do, and just had the time to sort of think about things. And yeah, I rang Joe up one day. We'd always talked about getting in the studio together, and I rang him up and I said that I wanted to do a cover of a Sade tune, and I got round there and we made the beat and whatever, and he said, oh, well, who's going to sing this? And kind of, I couldn't really put it on him to do it because he was he's a real singer in a proper band. And so I kind of like, all right, well, I better do it. And that kind of turned out okay. And then we carried on making tracks. And then at the point where we were first recording, or we were first writing songs, I'd do the vocals with the idea that, again, a proper singer would come along and voice these tunes. But, you know, kind of through lots of reassurance from Joe and the people at the label and all my pals and everything, you know, we just sort of got on with it and decided that it was a good thing that, you know, that it was a different kind of voice. And obviously, you know, that's a big part. Joe's voice is obviously a big part in the whole thing as well.
Give us a call or check your gig guide to find out exactly where Two Bears are appearing around the country. Mate, I guess what is next for the Two Bears? And you talk about an album on the way?
That's right, yeah. We've been sort of busy, working hard at that the last sort of, well, a lot this year really, but yeah, we're kind of in the final throes of it at the moment, and that should be coming at the beginning of next year, sort of February time. And we were just a couple of days this week in the studio writing with the guys from the Scissor Sisters, which has been really exciting and, you know, thrilling to work with people from a completely different place to us. But it's been, yeah, that's been a lot of fun. And lots of remixes. We've just done a remix for Junior Boys. We've done one for Death Cab for Cutie. What Fanfarlo we've got coming up. But there's lots of that stuff going on. Plenty of club gigs around the UK. And then, yeah, looking forward to getting down there for some decent weather and sunshine, just as it gets really gruesome down here. So there's lots of stuff going on. I have a label, me and Toddler T have a label called Girls Music that we run together. And we've got a bunch of good stuff coming up on that. I'm going to have to put my head into that a little bit, I think, at the beginning of next year and really get that running properly. It's good to be bored sometimes. It can be a creative thing, you know.
Any festival tips from the Two Bears coming up? Because you guys have just done your season and you're going into ours.
I mean, I can't really talk for your festival season, but down here you always need to pack some wellies. I stuck my head in when Hot Chip were playing at the Big Day Out in Melbourne last time. I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago, and everybody was covered in dust rather than mud.
Yeah.
So maybe like a pair of like a ski visor to keep the dust out your eyes or something. High-vis jackets are always good.
Yes.
Yeah, you can cause a bit of trouble that way. That's always a favourite.
Well, let's hope that
maybe a clipboard as well. Maybe you could just actually come dressed as security. It's probably ill-advisable. I shouldn't. Don't do it. Well, what am I talking about? You've got to wear a bear suit, obviously.
Yeah. Security band members.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, also before we go, I always like to ask, well, I guess on the show, if there's something we can play for you on the show. Is there anything in mind from yourself?
From our stuff, well, I really have been really pleased with the remix we did for Toddler T, the tune he had with Shola Amma called Take It Back.
All right, here it is, as picked by one half of Two Bears. Rap Rundell for you on release.
For more, head to djrelax.com.